Welcome back to another episode of Pivot with Purpose. This is the podcast where we really celebrate our journey into finding our purpose. And I know that it sounds like BS if you've never been there, but you'll find it. And if you've already been there, you're like, I found my purpose, but I don't feel fulfilled in that anymore. Then we'll also talk about in these episodes how you can pivot into something else, still walking in your purpose. That's why you pivot with purpose. Every time you make a change, we're going to do it with purpose. And it's that journey. We're not looking for the end goal. Although my therapist says that that's all I'm always looking for. But the point is we're trying to do better and not look for the end goal. Before we get started with the show and our repeat guest, because she was so good and you guys actually, I just dropped the episode yesterday and you guys are over here like, Krysta. I'm like, all right, well, she's not funny.
Love it. Hilarious.
This is actually, we'll talk more about what we're going to do later, but we're going to Tulum.
We are.
We are going to Tulum.
We are going to Tulum.
Krysta is going to be in Tulum. So ladies, it's going to be a Galentine's Day thing. Like for me right now, it's community. So if you even think about like, oh, Carla is just, no, it's not just me and y'all. Like I want to bring other people. And when I saw her, I'm like, you know what, girl, come on. Let's bring you and your people and make it just more women. Because I can't bring all the women together. It has to be, pillars of certain communities that bring us together. So February 9th to the 12th is our Galentine's Day edition. We're going to Tulum. We have our entire private villa. It's beautiful. 20 bedrooms. We have our own pool. We have private chefs. We have boat parties. We have a welcome party when we get there. All your meals are included but one. Honey, all this is included.
Talk about soft life. This whole Galentine's Day is giving soft life.
Isn't it?
It is.
Oh, so it's our soft girl.
Yes, it's our soft girl Galentine's Day.
We're adding soft girl on there.
Soft girl. I love that.
Soft life. Soft life or soft? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Soft girl life, soft life, whatever. You get the point.
It's giving.
No, it really is. And for me, it's just, I want to reset, recharge, rejuvenate my mind, man. Like, I really need it. And although my therapist did tell me for me to go on one on my own before I go, I'm still working on it. I think I'm going to take a weekend where I'll go to one of those. I don't even know anyone.
Like a retreat?
Yeah, like a weekend retreat with someone that I don't know who they are, just to kind of feel it, because I really want to be in this space. It's intentional for me. We're having journaling workshops. We're having a live podcast recording, and Krysta's gonna be there to be on the mic, okay? But then she also has an entire brand, community of women that we're gonna touch on now, how she found them, and maybe there are some of them that are already listeners, or maybe y'all are interested into what she got going on.
It's community, baby.
It's community. It is women. Community. So let's talk about it, okay? I met Krysta because I had one of her clients come on the podcast and he was wilding. And she was like, "You're not supposed to say all that." So she had you were basically like a PR person.
Yeah, I was a publicist.
You were a publicist.
I still have my PR agency, but I don't have to be the forefront. It's like running on autopilot, which I love. So she is a publicist to the people, right? So I met her that way and I was like, oh, she's cool. And she came on the podcast twice before. And then as I'm watching from afar, I'm seeing that she launched this Facebook group of some sort. I did.
And I'm like, what is this? Femininity Speaking. And then as you and I are talking, or I think did an episode, you're like, girl, this shit is like doubling in size. And doubled again. And doubled again. Within like, I think it was like 30 days. What did you have?
Yeah, like 30 days we hit, I want to say 20,000 women. And they were all women. It was like, holy shit. Like I went to sleep. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And I woke up, I was like, this is like Whole Foods. And I woke up, I was like, damn, this shit is like Walmart on the first. Like, I had no control over it. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
20,000 women that gravitated towards you. And from what I remember, Krysta's very open. She, there's certain things that she loves about women. And it's like, talking about sex, or she writes for Cosmo. Y'all remember we were in high school reading Cosmo, like, the boy kissed me and he touched my nipple. And we were like, ooh, it's porn.
Yes, I love it.
Like, just rub this out of your tit by mistake and you thought it was sex.
Right.
And Cosmo. But we know what Cosmo is, right? It's adult but it's for towards women.
Yeah, it's for women.
So you wanted Femininity Speaking on Facebook to be what originally?
Originally, from the beginning, I was always fascinated with sex. So sex, even before I lost my virginity, it was always a thing for me. It was like the science of sex, the intimacy. It was like, it was like art. Yes, like sex was like art. Huh. And when I discovered porn, I was like, oh my gosh, these people are creating art. And it's just different things. And then I'm like, oh, the bad acting. I was so into it. I was so into it. So intrigued. So when I started Femininity Speaking, I found myself, I was always very open about just sex. Like sex never was a taboo topic in my household. Even
so your parents were cool with you talking about it?
Parents were super cool. Like they were really, I went to them if I had any questions about sex. They never like shunned it. Okay. So it was always an open,
that's really interesting,
open dinner table topic, right?
And she's Black, y'all. Just in case you're not watching, it's a Black woman.
Definitely. So, you know, I was like, well, I always was intrigued by it, and I wanted to create a safe space for women. I noticed that just because I grew up in an open household, like an open book household, that a lot of Black women don't, you know, and then the religion plays a part. So it's like you're shamed for wanting to try this, or you can't even, like, I've noticed that women have to suppress their pleasure to, you know, please the man. And I'm like,
it's what we're taught.
Yeah, it's what we're taught. And it's like, damn, like, wow, this is crazy, to the point where I was listening to married women say, you know, oh, it was a job to have sex with their husband. And I'm like, I never want sex with my husband to feel like a job or a chore.
So you opened up the Facebook group for those women?
Yes. So it started, I wanted it to be for those women. I wanted to talk about, like, in real raunchy sex. Like, I wanted it to be about anal and like, I was just like, yes,
let it out, girl, let it out.
And like, what are your kinks and all this good stuff. And then I realized that no, it's turning into a sewing circle. And I was like, this is not what I wanted. So I noticed the more people,
the women got wholesome.
They got wholesome. I'm like, oh my God, we're praying. I don't want to pray. Like, we're
going to church for prayer right now. Booty.
Right now, I want to talk about anal. So then I realized that the more people that kept coming in, and people kept inviting these people, that it was not what I originally intended it for it to be. And I was getting sad. I'm like, this is not me. Like, this is not what I wanted. And people were getting pissed that we were talking about sex.
Whoa. So they kind of like hijacked it.
Exactly. They hijacked
the Tupperware and Bible study hijacked
They hijacked it. Now it was a Tupperware and Bible study party. And they were so upset that they were like, oh, all they talk about is sex and da-da-da-da.
And they started reporting you guys.
Yes, they started reporting us to Facebook. And Facebook was shutting us down, and I had having to plead with them to get it back. And it was just anything we said about sex, it was like, oh, report. And I was like, damn, this is sad, because
I have to have sex to have a baby. Oh, report.
Exactly. I like anal. Report this bitch. Like, you know, it got crazy.
Why, you really like anal?
Right. Well, you know. It was crazy. I really want to like anal. Maybe that's why I started talking about it so much. I really want to, but I just don't. It's just not my thing.
You might be too
I might try it again.
Okay, moving right along. So she has the 20,000. They're reporting you, and I remember you sent a message in the group saying like, we're basically leaving Facebook.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah, because I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up with the reports, and I was like, I need to own a platform for my own. So that's how I started
business.
Yeah, I started the mobile app. So that's when we had a lot of brands, and I noticed like we had a lot of brand sponsors. So with them turning it into a sewing circle wasn't bad.
Right.
It just wasn't me. So I want to just make sure that's known, because it started to bring in a lot of different brands, which that brings in dollars.
A lot of dollars.
So we're talking about menopause now. So a lot of companies are like, you guys talking about menopause? Great. Here's a check. We're talking about love. We're talking about therapy. We're talking about so many amazing things. So I'm like, okay, well, the brand sponsorships are coming. This is amazing, but this still isn't my passion.
It don't matter how much money was thrown in front of you. It wasn't your passion.
It wasn't my passion. And I was like, I was starting to hate this. You know, I felt like it was a job.
So then you kept it and then started the app.
Yes. So I kept it and I started the app. And that way I was like, okay, I can have the app because Diddy has to rock. That's what I thought about it. Diddy has to rock. Kim Kardashian have Skims, you know, but it's like you really didn't have to be in it. And I thought I had to always be in it. So I was like conflicted about my passion, or can I just run this as a business?
Right.
You know, so I decided to just run it as a business, create the app, then get a team behind it to just run it. So I didn't have to be the face of it anymore and just let it go. Y'all want to turn into a Tupperware party? Boom.
There you
Them
go.
speaking, your fucking Tupperware party. Now, if y'all want to get ratchet, over here. This is where we let loose.
And now what did you create?
And I created Ivy's Garden.
Yeah, I hear this. This is literally like a business moves and pivots that are going towards her purpose, but at the same time doing it in a way where she's not risking, like, it's a calculated risk, right?
Right.
Because you could step away from it and it could fail, but you're like, I'm going to set this up in a certain way for it to run and really make it a calculated risk, and the risk worked. And then you still pursued a lot of people would have stayed at the Tupperware party because it brought in the money and it was easy.
It was easy. It got to be easy. And I was still, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like like you have your firstborn baby and you nurture it, and then you have another kid, and then you're like, you feel like this baby's being left out. Mm-hmm. That's how I kind of feel. I'm like, damn, like, do you feel left out? Oh, you're good. You're alive. Oh, okay, cool. You know?
So what is it that you then start? Because now we have Ivy's Garden.
Oh, I love Ivy's Garden.
And when I was like, what is this bitch promoting
now?
It was out of nowhere. It was literally out of nowhere. And I'm like, what is going on? And then it was a completely different brand. I was like, oh, cool. Then I see another one. I'm like, oh, this is very nice, very wholesome. And then I read the smaller print and I said, oh, Ivy's Garden. So what is Ivy's Garden now?
So Ivy's Garden is an elite club for curious women. Right. It's curious women of color. I want to say that.
Yes.
Because that was huge. And how Ivy's Garden started, the reason why it kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere is because I was already doing it underground. Nobody knew. I was in Miami.
You were testing it.
I was testing it out. I was in Miami. I was doing my seed round funding for the app for Femme Speaking with the investors pitching. So during the daytime, I was Krysta, founder of Femme Speaking mobile app, blah, 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 blah. And then at night, I was like sex parties. I was going to like being invited to swinger events and all this stuff. And then I realized, oh shit, this is a vibe. Like, this is some luxury type shit. And I'm like, I like this. And I started doing my own little thing.
Okay. I don't know why I just cut you off like that, because I thought in my head.
Did it?
Fucking every ADHD, the thought comes in and just comes out. Moving right along. You say all of this though, but we've had conversations and you're so like, I love this and I love that. But you're a fully heterosexual woman that love to be with one nigga.
I know, right? I love me some dick. No lie, I do. But I've always, and I would be lying if I say I never had the fantasy of being with another woman. So that was always my thing. I knew I wasn't like full on gay or lesbian because I always just see myself with a guy, but I knew I always wanted that fantasy. And maybe it's because I only watch lesbian porn.
But did you already do it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you had, So now since your family was so open, yeah, this is me trying to work it out in my head too. So I'm sitting here trying to help y'all get it out. Your family was so open, so now you're like providing this open space for other women to not, because you're not going to shame them because you don't even know how to shame somebody because you were never shamed for it.
Right. So to me, it was like, wait, you guys are getting shamed for this? Like, I couldn't put it together. And I realized, oh shit, you guys are all coming to me because now I have this space.
And it's quiet. No one really knows about it. Because when you say elite, she means elite.
Elite. Like the members, because it's members only. My members are from VCs. So like VCs.
Venture capitalists.
Yeah, venture capitalists. I have women that are VPs of like banks or like VPs of companies.
But within that, they can just be themselves.
Yeah.
With just women.
Yes. So just women. But when people think of Ivy's Garden, of course, it started out with like bi-curious women. I realized that, okay, all these women have like this fantasy of sleeping with another woman. Right. So I'm like, okay, cool. So it started out with that, right? This is the tricky part. So I was like, okay, I'll put them together and figure out what they want to do. So people automatically think every event that we have, it's a massive orgy. So people are like, oh, it's an orgy. And it's so not like that. No lie. I thought the first one was going to be an orgy. And I was like,
you were prepared for it.
Right. I was like ready. Then when I realized it was not like that.
What was it like?
It was literally everyone, like we had robes, It's very luxury experience. So we have like robes for them, wine, food.
And it's so you.
It's so, right? It's giving soft.
It's giving soft life.
So I was like, wow, what it really was a bunch of women of color, all shapes, all sizes, just being fully comfortable.
In themselves.
fully comfortable, and just walking around nude in robes, like boobs hanging out, coochies hanging out. It was just like everybody felt so free. You would have some people sitting on the couch talking about their husbands. Some people talking
just with their titty out.
Just with their titties out. Some people on the couch sipping wine, talking about their fantasies or how they tie somebody up or how they're dom and and I'm like, this is amazing.
All while somebody is sucking a fucking right across from them.
Yeah, but you know, it's exactly. So that could happen, but for the most part, it rarely does. I honestly think they meet them there and then they probably bond a connection.
And then afterwards they go do whatever they want.
Then they go do whatever they want.
But now they know, it's like, how do you find someone that's into the same thing, at least sexually, than you are out in the street, walking down in Manhattan or downtown Orlando? You don't know who's who or what they do.
Right.
Oh, okay. So people outside, you don't know who's who. So when they come here, I finally meet you. Mm-hmm. I already know you're into the same things. Because people also get shamed for maybe going on an app and putting, I'm into this or I'm into that, because one, they might not be sure, or two, they might be judged by someone else that might see them that you don't want them to know what you're into.
Right.
So once you're there, you met them, and then it's like, okay, we can exchange numbers or do whatever on the outside, because now I know you've seen me naked. Right. I know a little secret about you, and I know me and you like the same thing.
Exactly. And you'll be surprised. Most of them are in relationships with men. Most of them are married to men. And it's just like this little like, let me go do this and then go back to snack time and carpool tomorrow.
I had such a wholesome and spiritual and godly episode last week. And now this week we're finna come with you. Lord, I'm just trying to show them, everybody in the world, Jesus. And I want them to, experience things while you guide them.
Amen.
No, but it makes sense, because I feel like sometimes we have serial killers because they oppress whatever they're feeling. Just say what you feel. As long as you're not killing somebody. Exactly. I don't care what you do. Do not be so suppressing your feelings, and don't be so quiet and hold it in that you end up committing a crime. Exactly. I'd rather you just go do some gay shit.
Yeah, just do what you want.
And do it somewhere where it's safe. Where they're not going to judge.
Exactly. And your reputation is locked.
You won't need
because we sign
NDAs,
we sign everything. And the events are so nice.
NDAs. If you don't know what that means, that is not National Basketball Association. It is non-disclosure agreement. That's the shit that Beyonce made people sign to go to her birthday party. No,
Yeah.
NDA to go to Beyonce's birthday party. And if you violate that NDA, that's your ass for the rest of your life.
Facts.
You're done in the industry.
Facts.
So you go to Ivy's Garden and Krysta tells you to sign this NDA. Boom. Nobody will know.
Nobody.
That's like Beyonce. That's like 6 degrees from Beyonce.
Exactly.
You sign an NDA, you are J-Lo.
Period. I love J-Lo.
I think J-Lo was there. They were saying this. Anyways.
But yeah.
So I love that. I love that you're doing it, whether I'm interested or not, because I know there are women that are. That's how I know Mandy has the following that she has, because although I might not be a super sexual person, there are a lot of people that are.
So many. You'll be surprised. But they're all low key. They're all, and when Ivy started, I just thought it was just going to be by curious women. I honestly did, Lord knows. And then I realized, it's more things. So now we talk about, we go to dungeon. We went to a dungeon to learn BDSM.
Jesus.
Yeah, so we went on a field trip to a dungeon.
A field trip?
Yes, literally a field trip, bitch. Like, I was like, we're renting sprinters. We're pulling up, like, heavy. So we went to there. We also went on a field trip to, I took them to their first sex club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, these are wholesome women. They came from the Tupperware party.
So
this is why we're doing this in Tulum, because Tulum is not the Ivy's type of party. For the Ivy, it's a different experience. Those are field trips. The retreat is the fact that could be what you want to do. You could be that type of woman, and you can meet people that are just like you, and we can bring the health aspect of it. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't even get to this.
Trapped.
You can't even get to Ivy's Garden, right?
Exactly.
So it's like you need to learn who you are and then go and venture out and do what you're doing. Exactly. So I can't wait to.
It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited.
I can't wait to go to Mexico,
because a lot of girls, like in your community or other communities that come together, and they think Ivy's. When you hear Ivy, you're like, oh my God, it's just. But then you realize, like, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know I had a praise kink. Like,
it doesn't have to be with another woman. It could be with a man.
It's what most of these women learn, like, oh my gosh, I have this, or I'm a sub, or I'm a dom, or whichever, I'm a switch. And then they go back home, and the next thing you know, they're like, yo, me and my husband have been having some off the chain sex.
The husband is like, go back to Ivy's Garden.
He's like, how much is that membership? Bet.
I'm paying the whole year.
On my card. Put it on the Air Max. Put it on the Air Max.
And speaking of women, her and I were on the phone, and she was like, I'm going through this stage right now. This is going to be a little bit of a segue.
Mm-hmm.
You're going through this stage right now in adulthood where she's like, it's a Mean Girl era. And at first I was like, Mean Girls? Yeah, the movie. Why are we talking about this? But then she's like, no, a Mean Girl era. And I'm like, really? What? But then you didn't, I'm thinking of, can't get my thoughts out. I'm thinking of like social media Mean Girls when they don't really know and they set up cliques and cliques.
Right.
But you were like, no, I mean Mean Girl era with my friends.
In your own circles.
Because whenever you think of Mean Girls, it's outside. And can you explain that? Because I feel like I felt that. I've gone through something similar, but I don't think it's the same as what you're going through.
Yeah, so I learned, of course, like I said, how I grew up, it was always very open. Like my parents were very open-minded. My family was very open-minded. So even like when I started talking more about sex, like in the media and things like that, my family was very open-minded. My friends who are the same age as me, who, you know, they tell me about their sex stories or whatever, I thought they were more open-minded. But then I realized like little things started to be said, like in circles or at brunch, like little things about me being very comfortable in my sexuality. And I guess them not feeling comfortable in the same. Mm-hmm. So I realized certain things were being said where I was told that I make them feel uncomfortable being around me. Yeah. And I'm like, well, why would here I am with a whole platform that's dedicated to helping people feel alive.
If you were a sewing circle, what were they expecting from you?
Exactly.
You make them feel uncomfortable talking about
my sexuality. So me being comfortable about my sexuality makes them feel uncomfortable. I literally just go back to like the Mean Girl phase. I had this girl who I thought was my friend, right? Like literally probably we worked together every day, you know, it was a thing. And she was always there, like right when my app was starting and all this, and encouraging me, like, yes, sex, whatever. Oh, you've been in Cosmo, great. So I think it was Women's Day or something, International Women's Day or whatever. And she tagged all of her friends. Like she's an influencer. She has a couple followers. She added all of her friends and their businesses, right? And she was like, oh, boss women, blah, blah, blah. Everybody, even everyone in our circle was in that, plus people I don't know.
But not you.
But not me. Mind you, I talk to this girl every day. We shared an office space every day. So I felt some type of way, of course, because I'm like, bitch, like I don't understand. But I didn't know if I could feel some type of way. I don't know.
Right, because you're like, it's by social media. Maybe those are like internet friends. Maybe I'm just the real friend.
Right. So
but
I'm
still,
like,
you know what it is.
So I questioned her about it. And I was like, oh, you're not going to joke. Like, why wasn't I a part of your little shout out or whatever? And she was like, well, I can't put your brand next to my brand. And I said, oh, mind you, and this wasn't even Ivy's Garden. This was them speaking. This was
the Tupperware.
Yeah, the Tupperware party. And I was like, well, why? You know, I don't understand. She was like, well, you talk too much about sex and everything. And I'm a real holy woman and all this stuff. And I'm like, but this is the same girl that tells me that she puts beads up her ass.
Okay, so I will say, is her social media or her brand her bread and butter?
No, it's not.
Okay. Because I think I would definitely understand.
Right.
If I said, well, my platform might bring on different people, but let's say I had a large check from a church.
Right.
There's going to be no cussing.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that, because it's a large brand deal that I could use.
As a publicist, I would totally understand that. I'd be
right,
like,
you're a publicist.
Yeah,
so looking at it from a publicist and not a friend. Would it have made her look back? If you're not femme speaking, you are non-biased.
Right.
Just a publicist.
Just a publicist.
What would you tell her to do?
No. I wouldn't think it made her look bad at all. Okay. Especially because of the other people that she tagged.
Right. So it's just different women.
They were way, like, their brands were not as... My brand was PG-13 compared to the brands that she tagged.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, I didn't know if it was envy. I didn't know what was going on. But I remember
I'm thinking the other women were like clothing brands and...
Girl, some of them were like lingerie brands. And I think one girl was like a sex toy.
Oh, okay. Girl, right. Bye. Okay,
so
bye.
it was kind of like... okay, so what's your real excuse? What's the real
She's
problem?
jealous of something.
Right. What's the real problem? And then you come to me a week later after that. I brushed it off because I didn't want to play, like we share space. So I don't with tension. But then a week or so later, she inquired my help of how to build a community.
Interesting.
And she was starting this whole community on her own that I found out, and it wasn't growing the way that mine was. So now she needs my help. So I was like, oh, so maybe you didn't want to shout out my community because you were
trying to build your own.
So just say that, because don't make me feel like shit or shame me.
But even then, there's no friend of mine business that I wouldn't shout out, even if it's close to mine. Exactly. May is a perfect example of this, and I'll even say it. She is in LA, and she is my audio producer. She is what I consider my protege. Like, she is who I teach everything that I know. And she's in LA, and she's like, she came to me one day, and I don't know if I've said it on the podcast before, but she came with this whole pitch, and she's like, I want to do X, Y, and Z in LA for clients of my own. Basically, almost the same thing that I do, right? Right. She wants to shoot it, but she is more behind the scenes of actual tech stuff. But at the end of the day, she would have gotten in some stuff. And she's like pitching it to me, and I said, like, basically asking for my blessing. And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. First of all, I don't want to take on everybody's podcast. Right. And at the end of the day, you're good at what you do. Hell, I'll be just to say him, even allowing me to be here and talk about what I do. This is his studio. Right. His business does very similar things, but our businesses we have different clients. And when May came to me and said, I want to do this, not once will I ever tell her no. And I've had people come to me and say, oh, people that you work with or whatever, do things on the side. I hope they are. Right. I hope so. And if I can help you, whatever resources, I'm going to help you. They all have a strength that I don't have, right? So whether it's her being like a super tech behind the scene, hey, go find me some more techs, please. Right. Because when I have 3 pods going at the same time, I'm going to need maybe Carlos on one side, May in another, and find me a third person because I'm planning for my company to grow that big. Exactly. Right? Or, my producers, we're going to start something to teach producers how to produce. Please do. Because I need more audio techs. I need more people. Right? I need more people. So you're going to, profit off of them. Why? Absolutely. Create a business out of your thing. So for her to not do that, it's an absolute envy, and her not being sure of yourself. It takes a very confident person to tell somebody else, you could do what I do, because you'll never do it like me. And it doesn't have to be better. Like me. It doesn't have to be better or worse. It's just different. Like different sauce. A whole different sauce. I know there are people that will never talk to me or work with me because how direct I am, how blunt, how I speak. I will probably answer the phone call in a robe, Right. I do. I might be smoking in the midst of it. Like, I'm a very, we're chilling. When it's professional, of course, professional, but those are my clients. Right. There are some clients that enjoy something very more professional, put together, quiet, like a demeanor that's softer. I'm not. Yeah. That's not me. So that's why I can allow, I don't care how many podcast producing agencies there are, none of them will be me. None of them will be me. Exactly. And we can all be just as good for the perfect person. Yeah. So she could have built her community. People are part of 2, 3, 10 communities. Because people in her community wouldn't even be in my community. People, they draw to you for a different reason. It's like that Venn diagram. It's like all of hers are here, all of yours are here. And at some point, there are some that are going to meet in the middle. Exactly. And then you keep your core, but that doesn't mean they're going to leave the other. They stay in both. Exactly. And we feel like I'm doing some stuff. No, so I can see that happening, especially as we get older and we start succeeding in some of our things. And you might have some people around you that maybe aren't moving as fast, right? Or in the same direction, or aren't getting as many doors open. And they probably, if they're not secure themselves, they're going to be jealous, and you got to let them go. They're going to be jealous. And I refuse. And I've learned that, like, as I grow, especially as Ivy grows, and me being more and more open about, like, just my sexuality and just being open flower about sex, right? This is just me. I make other women feel uncomfortable. And it bothers me to be told that, because that's not what I want to do. And I've noticed, like, when my friends are getting married, or, everybody's getting married, or they're having children, and I'm walking around still saying me, just new titties and a crop top. We're going there off in a second. That's going to be our last segue. We're ending with that. So it's like, I still always had this confidence, but now it's just escalating more because now I'm talking about sex. So your husband's always been following me,
but now he's following me and I'm talking openly about sex. And then it's
that's
like,
on you.
That's not
that's your husband ain't my problem.
exactly.
And his social media.
So it's like, but you feel insecure now about me as a friend. So now you say little stuff like, oh, all you wear is crop tops? Bitch, all I've wore is crop tops since I've known you for years, you know, like, oh, just because you're married and you have kids and you're feeling a type of way.
Her husband said Krysta while he was fucking her.
Probably. Your husband, and that is not my problem. And I've
tell little buddy over there. Listen, I don't want him.
You need to step your game up. You need to call me and I can tell you, all right, girl, you gotta put that leg to the side like this, and you gotta, you know?
What I'm talking about is because he's hoping that you would do it.
Right. So I've learned that, and I realized, and it used to make me feel bad. It used to really make me feel bad. It used to be like, because I'm like, I don't want my friends to feel uncomfortable around me, you know? And then
so you would like shelter a little bit more?
I would cover up and oh my God. And then I realized, damn, that's not me.
I mean, but there is a thing where like you walk into, are you the type that will go and like stay the night with your girlfriends or the boyfriends there and then you're going to come out and like booty short?
Oh, hell no.
You just talking about when you're just out. Regular.
I'm just talking about
right now.
Yeah, I'm just talking about just out. Just out in a normal setting.
Not like you walked out in the kitchen with your booty all out.
Hell no. Because I don't even go. I respect relationships and I respect like marriages, especially my friends' marriages and things like that, where it's like, if we're not all in the same setting, right. I'm not at your house if you're not there. Like, I'm not next to your dude if you're not there. Like, that's just because I don't want you doing that to me. Yeah. You know? That's just respect. So,
yeah, it's definitely their own insecurity.
It's just, at brunch, it's like, oh, why is your stomach out? Bitch, my stomach's always out at brunch.
Because she doesn't have a stomach.
Right. Why is your shoulders out? My shoulders are always out.
Hello, skinny ass. Right. It won't matter what, there will never be a stomach. Like, she's just like, eh. But talking about that, how did it actually also make people feel? Because you asked me today and you didn't know. I've had my boobs done paid by my daddy for 13 years. Yeah. I wanted these done. My dad was like, let's do one first. Nice. And I was like, stop playing. But, you know, I got them done for me. It was a me thing. You're 30 some odd years old. 33. I was young as I was 22. You're 33. You've lived all these 33 years. And now all of a sudden you want to get boobs.
All right. I was like, I wanted titties. I've always wanted titties though. When they stopped growing when I was like 13, I was like, oh, this is it. Girl, it was like
I got the nipple.
12-year-old boy chest. I'm like, damn. And I'm just like going through life. And then I realized like, I always wanted titties, but you know, then I got married and I got divorced. And then all these men are telling me like, you know, your body's perfect. Don't cut. And then I'm like, but I knew my confidence level would just, I didn't want to feel like a little girl anymore. I wanted to feel like a grown-ass woman.
What was making you feel like a little girl?
Just me. I really think it was just me. You. Yeah, I really think it was a mental thing.
No, it is. Like putting on I remember, I was 22, but I just remember being like, it feels different. Right. You know, and it might be a Western thing, right? Or it might be just so, but it feels good because breasts are that of a woman, right? You breastfeed, you feed your, you can breastfeed them with no titties. I get it. Don't come for me. Shit. I know it's just the nipple we need in the ducts or whatever. Relax. But it's like what you see in a thing, like stick your big old titty in the baby mouth and then men and then porn. It is what we see all the time. So that makes us feel more like women. I bet you Eve has some titties. Right. Sorry, Jesus. Stop. Krysta, do not write me.
Oh my God. Okay, this episode.
What's wrong with you?
The Lord knows your heart. I bet Eve had some titties. She definitely probably had some titties.
So Adam had a schmuck. Stop. Oh my God. We're moving right along. Jesus. So you got them done. And it feels good. And you said some people didn't like the fact that you got them done.
Well, once I got them done, they were like, damn, okay, we get it. But before they were like, no. And
now you said before and after, like, okay, maybe you were a 12-year-old boy.
Right. Oh, we get it. And you know, I remember telling my mom when I could first like get dressed. After the healing process.
You put it on the next day. Stop it.
No, I had to wait. I wanted to see.
You were wearing the bra?
Yeah, I was wearing the bra, but I
she had them titties out the next day.
You know, they were like lopsided. You know, I got one nipple up here, one drop soon. I was like, well, I can't really show these off. Yeah, I don't want to.
You had the angles good.
Girl, it was lit. So I was like, I remember when I could actually like get dressed to leave the house, and I put on this jumper, and it was very low cut, and I've always worn it without boobs. And the first time I put it on, I literally started crying. Oh, like immediately started crying. And I was like, oh my God. I said, and I was looking in the mirror. I said, I finally look like the bad bitch I always felt like in the inside. And I said, oh my God, this must be what transgenders feel like when they get their boobs done.
I can't stand you.
I was like, when you know you're somebody, you know, and I was like, when they know that this is how they're supposed to look,
They get them titties.
when they get their bodies done, and I'm like, they look like a woman. That's how I felt. I was like, I knew I was this bad bitch
With big
in the
titties.
back. Yeah, and when I was like, damn, I'm really this bad bitch. So I'm like, I knew Nikita Dragon felt like that. Before
I think she told her she was in jail though.
Right. I don't think
And they
she
put her
was.
in the
They
man's
was
jail.
like- I was like, damn, they done put
So
my
has she
girl
been
up.
tucking or does she have surgery?
No, I think she still tucks.
Oh, is that why they put her in the other
I
jail?
think so. I think she still tucks.
But Nikita is a bad bitch. But did you
Nikita's
see
a
that
bad
mugshot?
bitch. She still was a bad bitch.
You think
her
so?
hair was a little rough, but
I don't know. She gave
still was a
me
ba-
Nikito.
really?
She gave me Nikki. Nick.
I thought she still was a bad bitch. though.
She was, I mean,
She's a
because
bad bitch.
Asians, but I was dissecting it. And I can't say this stuff on the air and the radio, so I can say it here. When I was looking at her, it was like, I feel like Asians still have very soft features.
I was about to say that. Asian
So as I'm
men
looking
have
at
soft
it,
features.
I wanted to be like, oh, look, it's the makeup. But I was like, well, she still doesn't have male features because also she's Asian.
Yeah, Asian
So
men
they're
have very soft features.
She looks that soft.
And then she got her nose done, and she got all that other stuff done. So I was like,
If y'all don't know who
girl.
it's Nikita Dragon is, look her up on social media.
Bad
She's
bitch.
a transgender woman, a trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
She got millions and millions of
Millions
followers,
of
and she got y'all niggas looking at her.
Listen,
Okay.
BAD bad. I felt like Nikita Dragon with my titties. I'm like, this is how Nikita felt when she first got her titties.
I love it. But and that's how you should do if you're gonna do any plastic
do it
surgery
for
or any
yourself.
fillers or do it for yourself. And
Mhm.
it's like, and give it a second because you've wanted it for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And you waited until, I mean, I'm sure financially is a thing too, because you can't just be like, I
your
want this done.
At least your dad paid for yours. Somebody daddy paid for mine. It won't mine.
She could also teach a couple of them tips on the trip. No, she's not. It's a wellness trip. But financial wellness is also a thing.
Also a thing.
Okay, no. How long have we been talking for?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna do some letters.
Oh.
But do check out for everything that we keep talking, the retreat, synergywellnessretreat.com.
please.
Synergywellnessretreat.com. Go there and you're gonna get all the information. It is limited space, so as long as I think we have 2 more that came in, so that puts us at like 6
Oh,
folks left. But this is good.
6 folks left. Dang,
I
that's
think
not
so.
fast.
I'm gonna take. There was somebody that had to drop out, so I'll give you the final number.
Yeah, nice. Y'all
can't
better come.
wait.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see everybody.
So if you have any questions or you want any advice, email me at askcarlawilmaris@gmail.com. So askcarlawilmaris@gmail.com. Let me see if I had another one of the other letters that I might want to read with you.
Ooh.
So we can do one about family drama with a sister who just had a baby.
Oh.
Or we can do a girl thinking she's being a jealous girlfriend with her boyfriend. Which
Ooh,
one?
that's a good one.
That
Jealous
one?
girlfriend.
Okay, the jealous girlfriend.
I love those.
Okay,
ones.
she says, I really don't want to be the jealous girlfriend here, but I'm at a loss. My boyfriend and I have been together for 11 months. We moved together last month. And he was previously married for 11 years. He got married young at 21 and they got divorced when he was 33. So you're 33 now.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really like to talk about his first marriage. He never lied to me though. He told me that he'd never loved someone like her and wasn't sure if he would ever wasn't sure if he could ever love someone like that again. But that he loved me and was so happy to be with me. I felt kind of iffy about that and I understand having emotional attachment to someone who you knew since you were 15. Like for them, they've known since they were 15. According to the boyfriend, they got divorced because she was a workaholic and he was an alcoholic, but he's sober now. So my boyfriend's a lawyer. I knew that his firm was hiring someone about 3 weeks ago. I knew something was up because he came home super upset and pacing. He wouldn't say what had happened. Then on Friday, he told me that they'd hired his ex-wife and she was going to be at the dinner they were attending. But bitch, listen. He told me this on the drive there.
Oh my God.
I was like, what the fuck? But we got there and I had to keep quiet. She was nice enough, but I didn't talk to her a lot. When we went home, I was in a really bad mood. He spent the whole night staring at her. Not to mention alcohol was everywhere, so he was super keyed up. I don't know what that means. Keyed up?
I guess because
like,
he had to be
hype?
sober, maybe. He was alcoholic, right?
I don't know if keyed up means he was drinking or keyed up or he was like
pissed because he couldn't drink.
I don't know. We got in a big screaming match on the ride home. I told him I was mad that he hadn't told me. I was taken off guard and he was being a dick. He said I was overreacting and being a bitch. He slept on the couch he fell asleep. He had time to sleep and wake up. He slept on the couch the whole weekend. My sister told me I was right to be upset, but that he was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and how would I feel if it was me? I'd be upset, yeah, but I would tell him. And now, girl, I don't know what to do. What do I do? Kill him. I'm just kidding.
Right. That's sticky, though, because I know this is the love of your life, and now y'all work together?
Okay. So they just moved in together last month, I believe she said somewhere. Yeah, we moved in together last month. So this is a serious thing.
But they're not married or anything, though.
No.
Okay.
They're not married. They've been together for only 11 months.
Damn, I feel like that's a lifetime now.
A lifetime compared to 12 years of marriage.
Right.
So I feel like he's showing you what it is. Like there's still a block there when it comes to this ex-wife.
Yeah, because especially if you don't want to talk about her, if he's
he's
still in love with her.
You got me fucked up. If you're going to tell me I could never love you the way I loved her,
right,
and we're not visiting her grave, oh no. The only way you're going to tell me you can't love me the way you love somebody else is because the bitch is dead.
Right.
I will help you put flowers on her grave.
But
whatever
if she's
you
alive and she walking around and she worked with you,
I gotta go.
I lost. It is sad, but it's like you will never have that
You're
man's heart.
You're always second place.
Yeah, you'll never have that man's heart. He'll come to you and he'll start coming home and looking at you differently, and
you're just kind of like
a place filler.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because he's still sad. That is really sad. So I will look into that, because he told you that within 11 months that he doesn't think he could love like that again. Why would you even move in with him? But again, you know him better than we do. And yes, I can understand someone not telling you something right away. Right. But now he's also showing you, I feel like I'm stuck on the 11 months. He's also showing you his communication style. Yeah,
because he don't want to talk about it, and he's mad, and he's having he's throwing little tantrums. Because I told you I feel uncomfortable.
And you threw a tantrum?
And you just mad,
I know you weren't here for Alicia's episode, but if you think about what Alicia and Lauren were talking about with communication, you're not throwing a tantrum. When I tell you I need this from you, I expect you within reason, of course.
My feelings are valid.
Like, no.
I don't feel comfortable.
I don't know. So what I'm going to tell you to do here is that this ain't a man for you, girl.
I don't think so.
I can't help you, but
and
you got to find another friend to message here, because I don't think you should stay with him.
No, because it's sticky though.
At this, it's red flags left and right. You don't even have to go to Better Help.
Because even if it's another 11 months, 11 more months, she works there. She's in his face every day. The love of his life. That he tell you he can't love you like he love her.
Nope.
Yeah, no, girl, save yourself. Don't waste no time. Go find you somebody that's willing to love you
the way you deserve.
Yeah,
like, why do you even feel like you deserve this?
Yeah, no. Like, and he didn't have the respect enough to tell you before you got dressed to get in the car.
You probably wouldn't want to wear your baddest bitch dress to this dinner. You were being conservative for his boss or whatever. You probably would have worn no panties.
Exactly.
The red dress.
Exactly.
With a better bra.
Exactly.
And probably stuffed it too.
Boom.
And now you showed up like Virgin Mary to this event, trying to be the good old wife
for his colleagues.
And then she showed up like the hoe with the red dress and the low cut. We fighting.
Yeah,
I'm mad already. I'm
girl.
I'm drink some water. No. I'm worked up.
You're worked up because it just sucks. It's like,
one thing about me: don't embarrass me.
Don't embarrass me, but don't tell me that I'm
prepared. Let me be prepared for whatever. I would have been just fine with this situation if you would have told me at least that morning. Hey, I haven't been able to tell you this, but before we get there, and give me the choice to either dress like a bad bitch,
right?
Decide not to go,
right? Decide not to go. You can be like, I don't feel comfortable.
Mentally fight her in the,
right.
Call that bitch a couple.
But now I gotta sit here and look at you, look at her.
Oh, he forgot he was looking at her.
Yeah, looking at her the whole time. They gonna throw a little attitude and sleep on the couch.
And
he sleep on the couch because he know he fucked up. That's why he put himself on the couch. Because he know he fucked up.
You when the dog put the tail between his leg.
He was like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep on the couch. This is ridiculous.
Right, bitch.
Right. Oh, that whole manipulative shit.
He called her a bitch.
Oh, he called her a bitch?
Yes. He called you bitch before a year. I hope this is enough.
Yeah,
Let me know if you break up with him. Unless he's real
Stack
rich.
your
I'm just kidding.
coins. Right, I was about to say, unless he like paying all your shit and like just doing all that.
Nah.
Give 2 months. Stack your coins. Stack your coins.
All right. So I will say that.
Yeah.
Thing. Sometimes if you already know mentally you're leaving and you're not financially in a situation, you need an escape plan. Unless it's an abusive relationship. If it's something abusive,
I did that.
Leave right away.
Right.
Like if you're in danger, I would say get out. I don't care if you don't even have shoes on. If you're walking out naked, like it'll be okay.
Ooh, that was me.
Now, if you are literally like you'll want to leave with, it's insane. So if that's the situation, you'll be fine. Anything that you get out there, which is scraps from the garbage, will be better than that.
Right.
But if this is somebody that you're safe with, you have a good time, but you're just like, I just know I don't want to be with him no more. And financially, you're like, it could help me for 3 more months to stay here. Do it. Do it. Get yourself, right. Get that down payment for your apartment. And then move on. Yep. Do it strategically. Calculated risk.
You gotta be smart. We're smarter.
So we already
so
mentally
much
all you gotta do is he was already having sex with him before.
Right.
So just give him some couple more times.
Yeah. Right. Babe, I need this. I be that. Even if your bills is paid, be like, oh, I need help to pay this. Oh my God.
Pay the martyr.
Yeah. Help me.
Oh, you have the exit set up. Okay, we're gonna do one more. All right. So this girl just had a baby. Do you have siblings? You do have siblings? Yeah, you're your 2 sisters. They have kids?
No.
None of y'all have kids?
None of us has kids.
Your mom is pissed.
She's fucking pissed. They're about to boycott Christmas.
Your old ass motherfuckers here.
My dad said, I don't want no Christmas until I get a grandkid of my own. I said, do you want me to go to Home Depot? What color would you like? I grab you one.
None of y'all have kids? Are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest girl.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they.
They're like.
And how many is it of y'all?
5.
Oh.
And the youngest is 29.
You know what's crazy? Wow. You were in a household that was so open about sex. And it's the one household that ain't got no kids.
They ain't got no kids.
The pastor's kids?
Everybody got kids. Right.
And listen, I love her story and I am going to her thing VIP. And she's TD Jake's daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts. She had her baby at 13.
Oh, wow.
Absolute blessing. And it led her to be where she is right now. And because of her story, I've been able to, her testimony has helped me because I was also a teen mom. But we can think of how many pastors' kids or people that are really uppity, we don't talk about sex. Right. They get pregnant at 5.
All of us who are like, don't have kids. Everybody's doing really well. Good. Everybody's good.
Oh, except your parents at this point.
No, my parents are like, what the fuck?
I think at least get a boyfriend with a baby.
Listen, I think my dad literally was like, can you have kids? You might need to go get checked. And I'm like, God damn. Like, I'm just over here dodging ovaries like bullets. Like,
every time you get your period, you're like, yes.
But I'm like, thank God. I'm like, if I don't, I'm like, please.
Every time I haven't had enough periods to think about it. Oh. And now that I'm having them, it's not being touched. Oh, so I'm just like, wow, it's back.
No, it's back. Me, hello? I'm like, every night, I'm like, God, if you hear me, not this nigga.
I know this is not what you want for my life.
I've made it too far. Not this. Not this.
I was just testing out what you gave Adam and you gave him.
You see the new titties. They fucking me up.
My dad said he didn't want to get my titties done because I was going to leave my husband when I did. See? I was gone within 8 months.
See? Out.
Done.
The new titties.
I don't want him no more. I knew since I was 17. Gotta go.
See?
These men's like these titties.
They do. They like them.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to the letter. Jeez, this is the last one. We're out of here.
Sister.
Okay. I have a group chat with 2 of my sisters. We text all throughout the day about random stuff. One of my sisters had a baby 6 months ago. The sister who had a baby sends probably 80 to 100 pictures of my niece throughout the day. Of course, I love seeing pictures of my beautiful niece. However, I feel like 80 to 100 pictures a day is a little ridiculous. Typically, I just heart react or whatever to the pictures I see. However, she wants us to acknowledge in a text that we have looked at the pictures. She does the same thing to my mom and gets upset if my mother doesn't text back to every single picture. It's her first baby, so she's bound to be obsessed, and I cut her some slack as I love baby pictures as well. It's hard to keep up with an important conversation or talk about something serious when my phone is being bombarded with pictures. Totally changing the conversation. it's getting to the point that I don't even want to open up my group chat anymore. I don't want it to turn into something where she holds it over my head and thinks that I don't want to see my niece. How can I get her to chill the fuck out with these pictures and not make her upset?
Tell her, ain't no way. I be like, look, man, you gotta chill. You got to chill. We know what she looked like yesterday, bro. She probably looked the same today.
Babies change every day.
Right. Bitch, send us a 1 week update, one picture only.
I'm wondering how techie you guys are. Maybe she can create an iCloud shared folder. Because here we're about solutions.
I still don't even want those.
We're about solutions. So maybe there can be a shared iCloud folder where she can just dump pictures in there. And you guys can go look at it at your leisure. And she can feel like she's sharing.
No. If did y'all look at that picture? Did y'all see the new file, the picture that I put in there?
Did you see it? The pictures are all the same. Like, but the baby's almost up in this one.
Right. She's like, y'all ain't see her put her little pink up.
She just pooped. Look how cute.
Look at it. What? Is this corn? Did it look like corn? She too young. Like, girl.
Yikes, because I get it being a new mom.
See, I'm not a mom yet. I'd be like, yo, y'all gotta chill. Like, ain't no way.
I get it being a mom. Like, I have 48,000 pictures in my phone currently. Mm-hmm. And I only know that because I went on that date and we asked each other how many pictures we had. And he has 5% of the amount of pictures I have.
Yeah, I could do something.
Right, they don't really take too many pictures. But I understand loving pictures. But it's maybe having that... First, okay, ask your mama first how it makes her feel. Right. And ask your other sister. And if you guys are in, because if it's just you, then you exit the group chat.
See, I'm thinking about storage space. Your storage space gotta be gone, girl.
You gotta delete the group chat all the
time. Now you can't download the podcast because your sister done sent you 100 photos today.
Of the same
same kid that y'all gonna see on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh my God. Okay. So again, solutions. If your mom and your other sister don't have a problem with it, then you remove yourself from the group chat. Or just scared the shit out of him. Kick your ass. Or whatchamacallit, remove yourself or hide it.
Right.
Hide it and then let them know, hey, I don't really go into there. Or remove yourself from it so they know and she can send you things herself. And if she gets into her feelings, it is what it is. Like, just say storage.
Say storage. That's my favorite. When people send me like pictures, I'd be like, oh, girl, my storage.
And we all kind of sort of work.
Yeah.
From our phones.
Exactly.
So it's like, I can't open my emails. My emails won't open because you're sending so many pictures.
Oh, girl, say that. Because she can't be mad at you for that because she stay at home with the baby.
I know she stay home with that many pictures.
Stay home with that baby.
I don't have time to take 100 pictures of a song.
Ain't no way. Exactly. So she got to stay home with that baby.
Right.
So you got to say it's for work.
It's for work.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because they can't say no.
We solved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you got to also add a little, time in between. So don't heart it immediately. You got to wait a couple of hours and then you got to be like, oh, girl, sorry, I was on a meeting. Sorry, I was working. Because then she know you about to be unavailable real soon. You got to add that. Don't be so responsive.
Yeah. Or maybe just having the conversation with her. Like, just, I see it. I see you. I love, because she said she loves the pictures. Yeah. I think what's bothering her is the fact that she has to heart it or say hey, I just want you to know that for me, the way that I speak and the way that I am looking at it. Right. And when I heart one, it's because I really
I'm hearting all of them.
All of them.
I've seen them all. I'm on heart one for all the rest of the 99 that you sent to me today. It's 10 a.m.
Explain it. Explain like really what you mean. And for her not to take it the wrong way. Yeah. I think that would be a conversation also. Because we can lie about work. Maybe let's start with the truth. Oh, fuck. But then if you start with the truth and then you say work, you're only using work as an excuse. Maybe do both simultaneously.
Yeah, just add a little, add them together. Truth, little lie.
A little bit more of this. I'm about to make the retreats logo, the two rings.
Right. And then they come together.
While we're doing that, we're about to speak of the Lord.
Oh, okay. That's all you.
Cover your stomach.
Right. Let me get my coat and put away my titties.
Your Tupperware friends do not want you to show your stomach.
Right.
Okay, now, every episode we go back to my root and bringing over a Bible verse just to uplift us because we might have fun, but at the same time, we are holy. So one that I saw today was Ecclesiastes, and I said it right this time. 11:4. Paula just walked in here like she ran in like she was robbing us. I was like, what the fuck just happened? I just cursed while talking to Jesus. I'm getting better at this, Lord. I'm getting better. So it says, if you wait for perfect conditions, you will never get anything done. And I think you're a perfect example of that through your story of, you know, wanting to have the first of the Facebook and then it turned into Tupperware and it turned into Sewing Circle and then it went to the app and the app wasn't it. You didn't feel the passion. You didn't wait for the perfect condition or to start something else.
Yeah, just pivoted. Look at that. I pivot with my purpose.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. You know, we're going to end it right there.
That was good. That was good.
I felt it.
Wow. I like that.
I think we touched somebody today. My work here is done. God is going to give me another day. You know, actually today at noon, it became officially 8 billion people in population of the world. Did you know that?
Really?
Did you know that?
8 billion?
So we are all blessed enough to breathe when we hit 8 billion. We were at 7 billion. And this is with a B, boobs. 7 million in 2011.
Wow.
So I forgot what the projected is for the next billion, but we are lucky to be alive. Dang. And every day that we walk in our truth and every day we walk with, you know, what we believe in, it's another day we can be part of these 8 billion people because a lot are born and a lot die too.
I feel like I swiped left and right on at least 1 billion of these mofos.
Well, we'll have more episodes as the retreat approaches. We'll have Krysta back so you get more like the fun stuff we're going to do. Yes, and Wendy's coming. So if you came to last retreats or you know who Wendy is doing a workshop with you guys too. You know, she's our sun and moon and she breathes all of that. Because the intention of me putting everyone together is just like growth and finding ourselves and relaxing, recharging, coming back feeling super recharged. I don't want to come.
Yourself.
You know, sometimes you go like on a vacation and need a vacation from vacation.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't want it to feel like that. I mean, we are going to have a great time.
Yeah.
But I want us to come back like.
But it's relaxing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I learned something while I cracked up at the same time.
And come back ready to like hustle, ready to. Right. You can come back and be like, I think I really found my purpose now.
Literally.
Like watching and then getting this, you know, sense of all these other women.
Because that's how you find your purpose, being around people that are searching for that as well and are giving you ideas. And for me, business-wise, I love to teach through my story, through my testimony. So it may be something I say resonates and you're like, oh, how can I do that? You have me right there in the room next door to be like, I'm thinking of this idea. Same. Like, what do you think?
Same.
And most of the time, I'll probably be like, get excited. So
same. Oh, because we love to help
I charge for this, okay? Yeah. But if you're already next to me and you're like, oh, I want to do that. And I'm like, oh, okay, we could do this, and that. And you could do
we get back. So excited
and then
about this.
Anything business. So that's something that you're getting, you know, coming here. Plus just... you'll help recharge me as well. Yeah. And going in this trip and me meeting other people again and getting past what I need to get past. Anyways, I said this episode was over. It's over now. I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.